Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut. Give, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach Malak Yahushai. Double honors to the elect elders to the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Yahushai. A hearty shalom to you mighty men that go out there in the highways and byways and labor and risk your life to magnify Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and ministry. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying, they're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Akwath out there, holding it down in the households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive, being diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Leah, Esther, Judith, Martha, Mary, and the list goes on and on. Shalom, shalom. The topic of this live stream is 7 women shall take hold of one man, right? And we want to clear this up because this is a controversial verse in the Bible. You know, a lot of brothers don't like this verse. A lot of women don't like this verse, but we can't ignore it, man. Right? We can't ignore it. We want to break it down a proper way. You got brothers saying, well, 7 women is talking about the nation of Israel cleaving to the Lord, and it's really talking about wisdom. And well, let's break it down. We're going to make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it, man. So let's go to Isaiah chapter 4. Right? Let's go to Isaiah, the 4th chapter and the 1st verse. All right, let's deal with it. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 4 and verse 1. It reads, and in that day, so actually, I'm going to start at Isaiah chapter 3, and I'm going to start at 16. I'm going to start at Isaiah 3 and 16, but I'm going to read on down. Because we get on Jake a lot. A lot of times we get on Jake because you slothful. We just got on you, man. We just did a video when we just got on you through the spirit and power of the Lord, man. When you're too occupied in the world, worried about sports and folly and vanity. And you don't read and you don't study, but now we're getting on Eve. And now a lot of Eves, they kind of disliking the video. They kind of getting off this YouTube live. They kind of closing their laptop, getting off their phone, and they're going to go do what they want to do. We have a lot of Eves that don't like this video. And a lot of you effeminate Jakes, you're not going to like this video either. Why? Because you're effeminate as hell, man. Oh, don't talk about that. Why don't you just go into the law? Just teach them the book of Exodus. Hey, the Bible is more than the book of Exodus, man. Last time I checked, you got the Old Testament, you got the New Testament, you got the Apocrypha. Included within those things, you have prophecies, histories, the writings, the epistles, the gospels. So we have to kind of cover this whole thing. Right? But this Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16. It reads, moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Now the Lord is getting on Eve. Eve has that I'm bad spirit, I'm a bad bee, right? Or you gotta pay, you can't afford me, or you can't date me, or I cost too much. Get your bread up. Eve is proud, man. You got to pay for my weave. This ain't free. And he had this thing on Instagram when it's this Eve got in the car with this Jake. And this Jake, you know, they got this thing with these, they kind of catch these gold diggers. So this Jake kind of pulled up in like a Maserati or whatever nice car, you know. And then they kind of run game on these Eves, you know, just to see how they're going to act. They really don't even say much. A lot of these guys, they kind of just pull up in the car. And the Eve say, oh, is that your car? And he kind of say, well, yeah, that's my car. And then Eve kind of asks to get in the car. And Eve, you can see that, you know, these her spirit ain't right, man. Because Jake might say something. She might look, this ain't free. You can't afford me. You know, you got to pay for my hair, my nails, my car note, my rent, my insurance. I need diapers for my baby. I need a mattress. I need A, B, and C. So that's that walking with stretched forth necks, man. And we out there in the highways and byways, you have asked either they got a minute damn neck facing the sky, man. Oh, I got something better to do. I don't believe in that Bible. And we asked the Eve what her nationality is. She said, my nationality is hood. She said, I'm hood. Right? Let's read on. Isaiah 13 and verse 16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. Haughty means proud. And walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. What are wanton eyes? Those are immodest eyes. Eyes that aren't shamefaced. You know, eyes that always want to consume, buy, lust after material things, men, you know, walking and mincing as they go and making a tinkling with their feet. Yeah, they might have some damn ankle bracelets on or whatever the case may be. Therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab. The Lord, Slakia, Isaiah 3 and 17. Therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. And the Lord will discover their secret part. So the Most High is going to pull the card on Eve. Right? And that day, the Lord will, and this day that it's talking about is the end of the world. Right? Jacob's trouble, martial law, all hell breaking loose. And that day will the Lord take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their calls, and their round tires like a moon. So all that stuff that you, Eve, you so-called black woman, Hispanic, and Native American woman glorify, your Brazilian hair. Hey, we was in Detroit, and they had a big billboard, like 15 feet long, that had 3 hood Eves with some damn Brazilian hair, man, advertising it with them long ass eyelashes that the Lord isn't dealing with. Are you going to have long fake eyelashes in the kingdom? Are you going to see Judith? Then you see Esther, and then you see Sarah and Rebecca and Rachel and Leah and Martha and Mary and Tabitha and Deborah and all these righteous women, and they got the long eyelashes. No, the Lord not dealing with that, man. All that fake weave, fake nails, fake hair, all that damn pounds of makeup you putting on. That's sorcery right there, man. You know? So the Lord said he's going to take away all the garments and hair wraps and tires like the moon. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers. All your damn Versace, Michael Kors, Gucci. You understand? A lot of women, Jake can't even talk to you. He got to buy you something first. Right? Kind of, say how you doing, and you kind of got your hand out. The Lord is going to humble a lot of Eves, man. Eve is going to be humbled. I believe Eve is going to be humbled more than Jake. I'm led to believe that because Eve hasn't made it. She has 1,000 privileges. Eve, you have it better in this society than Jake. You get higher paying so-called jobs, right? You're not the first one hired. You get better housing. You get better government benefits. You understand? You kind of got it made, man. Jake, you idolize. Jake, they worship you. You know? So a lot of Eve are going to be humbled in those days, man. When all hell break loose, a lot of Eve are going to be looking to the Most High and looking for the men of the Lord. Right? And in Jacob's trouble, you're not going to have that expensive dress. You're not going to have your makeup and a comb and a brush and oil, deodorant, chapstick, all that stuff, lip gloss. All that stuff is going to be done away with. Let's read on. Isaiah chapter 3. And this is an admonition for Eve to get your spirit right, man. Married woman and unmarried woman, get your spirit right. Because when they hit the fan, hey, you're going to be caught out there. You got to deal with it. Right? Let's read. A lot of Eve are going to be getting, they're going to be getting hemmed up, raped, kidnapped, sold, in chains. They're not going to know. They don't know how to hunt. Eve is scared of spiders, bees, ants, mosquitoes, you know? So when all hell breaks loose, what are you going to do? What are you going to do in those days? Right? Isaiah chapter 3 and 20. The bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings and nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, all your shades, even you got your expensive shades on, right? The glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. So basically, the Most High saying, when all hell break loose, everything that you glorify and everything that you exalt that's materialistic, the Lord is going to take all that away from you. Like I said, you're not going to have expensive outfits in Jacob's trouble. And if you're a so-called good-looking Eve, hey, these men of the world, they're going to grab you up. They're going to take you. They're not going to ask you, hey, how you doing? Man is not going to go through the 1,000 mind games and loops of taking you. This video is uncut and it's going to be raw. They're not going to ask for your number. They're not going to run game. They're just going to grab you up and take you. That's why the Lord said a man should be a hiding place. Because if you have a man of the Most High with you, then the Lord's going to be kind of merciful to you and deal with you. But if you kind of caught out there by yourself and you proud and you refuse to hear the word, then you're going to be caught out there. You got to deal with it. All right, let's go to Isaiah chapter 32. Right, I want to get this quick precept in Isaiah chapter 32. Eve tomorrow, I don't need a man. Right? I don't need no man. Well, let's find out. You keep saying that and you stick with it. You keep saying that. Let all hell break loose. Jacob's trouble kick off. Right? I have God. It's me and my God. I'll be all right. Yeah, you keep saying that. Well, the Most High created man for you, man. For you to follow. The Lord said, where no hedge is, the possession is spoiled. So all you Eve that say you don't need a man, you're not going to make it. Let me get that real quick in Sirach 36. All right? Did Sarah say she don't need a man? What about Rebecca? Rebecca, it's like Rachel said, give me children or else I'll die. She said, I need a man to be with me or I will die. You see that? They was fighting and beefing over that, man. So this, let me get this real quick in Sirach chapter 36 and 25. It reads, I'll start at 24. Sirach 36 and 24. See that? The sister said, I used to be that Eve, right? So the sister says, see, I used to be that Eve, right? This is Sirach 36 and 24. He that getteth the wife beginneth the possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Where no hedge is, the possession is spoiled. See that? Where no hedge is, the possession is your wife. The hedge is the borders to protection, which is the man. So if there's not a man around a wife, then she'll be spoiled. She'll be destroyed by demons, evil spirits, wicked men, philosophies, doctrines. Look what happened with Eve. When Eve wandered from her husband's guidance and direction, that's what her mind was spoiled by another man. She got spoiled by the serpent. So Eve, you have to have a hedge around you. Just like the nation of Israel, we have a hedge. Our hedge is Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. The laws, the commandments. That's our protection. So you need a protection. You need a man in the Most High. Right? Not a nigga off the street shooting dice. Right? Not a nigga out there damn in a gang. Not a pastor or your Christian church, but the men of the Most High. Right? That's what it means where no hedge is, the possession is spoiled. And he that hath no wife will go up and down mourning. And that's the just balance. Right, man, you might have some damn spirits on you if you don't have no wife. You'll be mourning, you'll be tossing and turning in the middle of the night. You'll be burning, you'll be depressed, and them spirits will work on you more. So it's a just balance, right? But the point is, Sirach 36:25 cuts that cliche black Negro woman doctrine. I don't need a man. I can do it by myself. I think that's the damn Tyler Perry movie, man. When you had Taraji P. Henson being a nigger woman, you know, I believe she had kids or stepkids or whatever, or nieces and nephews. She was kind of, you know, mistreating them. You know, she was proud, stubborn. Oh, I can do it by myself. Like we always, hey, the Lord is going to pull your card in that day, man. So let's go back to Sirach 36, right? So actually, I want to go to Isaiah chapter 32, right? Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 1, right? This is the book of Isaiah chapter 32 and 1. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. That king is Yahushua. The princes are the elect. And a man, right? And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. See that? So a man is a hiding place from the wind. He's sheltered from the destruction. So when there's a hurricane, Jacob's trouble, right, which is that spiritual hurricane, martial law, World War III kick off, and you caught up in a wind of destruction, a man is a hiding place. You're going to look for a man, and the Most High is going to be with that man to deliver you, right? Now, we're not saying single sisters who don't have a man aren't going to be delivered, right? But women that have a man, you have a better chance of making it out of here. That's scripture, right? So it says, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place. So imagine being in a desert and you dying of thirst, and the sun is beaming down on you, and there's creeping snakes and lizards, and then a man is like finding water in a desert. And people rejoice, man, when people are traveling in deserts, Sahara Desert, Gobi, and they going miles and miles without water. When they see that water, they get excited. They run to that water, and they don't take their time. And that's how the men of the Most High are going to be in the last days. They're going to be like rivers of water in a dry place, right? Why? Because you have 144,000 men that the Most High has chosen. Now, we don't know if we're part of that number. I don't know if I'm part of that number. You don't know if you're part of that number, but the Most High has elected a certain amount of men to govern the kingdom of heaven. You see that? And those men are going to be in a power seat. So, of course, the Most High is going to have those men make it and survive Jacob's trouble, because there's 144,000 men set up to rule. So if you're a woman and you have a man of the Lord, then that's a blessing, you know? And you don't want to kind of mess that up. If you kind of mess that up through your mouth and your pride and your nigger woman ways, then that's on you, you know? So this is really a video mainly to Eve, you know, to make sure that your spirit is getting right in the last days. Because when all hell break loose, hey, that's it, man. That's it. All right, let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 3. Let's go back to it. Isaiah chapter 3. Hey, these athletes, what are they going to do? A lot of you Eves, you like these tall guys. They got to have a nice car. They got to be in the gym 24/7. They got to damn have money, some damn waves, some Jordans. What else Eve like? They might give you some damn weed, right? A Black and Mild. Or they might pay for your food and bills and your rent and your car note. They might buy you a new phone. They might take you around the world. Is he going to save you on that day? Is money going to save you, or is Yahweh Shai going to save you? The Most High is going to save you, man. Remember, we always go to Proverbs 31:30. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain. That applies to men too. Women that just look at men, oh, he's handsome, he got money. That's deceitful and it's vain. So the same way a woman that fears the Lord is going to be praised, it's the same way the men of the Most High, they're going to be praised. Right? But let's go back to Isaiah chapter 3. This is Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 24. Right? Isaiah 3 and 24. It reads, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. See that? The Lord said, instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. I think a lot of Eves got that stink. Oh, I need my powder. I need my baby powder. Oh, I gotta do this. Or I gotta wash this. Or I gotta do this. I gotta I got my what's that? Summer's Eve. Whatever that stuff is. Eve, you got damn yeast infections. You got STIs, STDs. You have 4 abortions. You sterile. You have no more kids. You stink. Your body all jammed up. You see that? That's the curse that the Lord put on Eve, man. Instead of that sweet smell, now it's a stink. Right? It reads, Sluck it. And you, Eve, you don't help because you refuse to put on a dress. You refuse to put on a dress. You got damn bodysuits on, leggings. You know? You're getting infections and bacteria growing inside of you and disease. That's a spirit, that's a curse the Lord put on the woman. So instead of a sweet smell, there shall be a stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, baldness. Let me read that again. And instead, so you can't make this up, man. Right? Instead of because every nation has hair. Even the damn devil, the Edomite woman got hair. Right? The Moabite woman got hair. Eve, you wearing her damn hair. She got so much hair. And Elam, they got all that hair and they just giving it to you because you don't have no hair. Where is that at? In the Bible. Why do you have that Malaysian, that Brazilian, you wearing weaves, sew-ins, lace fronts? Damn, what else, man? I can't even name them. Because the most I put that curse on you. Now you bald. Now your hairline is receding. Now every time you put your hand in your damn hair and take it out, your hair falling out. Right? So this is absolute madness that you Eves are proud when you're going through the curses. See that the Eve said she threw away her lace fronts years ago. All praises. All right, Eve, you spend $200 and 6 hours out there damn every 2 weeks to get some weave and some lace fronts in your hair. You wear more fake hair than any nation. Why? Because you're dealing with these curses. The Lord put the spirit in you. You don't even know how to deal with your hair. I don't know how to deal with my hair. Well, that's the spirit that the Lord put on you. I don't know what to do. It's too much. Was Judith saying that? What about Sarah and Rebecca? No, but a lot of you Eve, your mind not right, man. You're cutting all your hair off, looking like a dude. You're getting a crispy lineup. You're getting designs all in your hair. You're getting the back faded out. You're getting a tip fade in the back of your hair. That's that baldness the Lord is talking about. Hey, when all hell breaks loose, like we always say, you're not going to have that weave. Eve, you spend hours trying to get rid of your damn mustache. You're going to have a mustache in Jacob's trouble. You're not going to have the little tweezers you plucking off your little unibrow. You plucking off your mustaches. You're going to have a mustache in the kingdom. I mean, not in the kingdom. When all hell break loose, your damn chin hairs coming in. You might have some chin hairs, man. The chinny chin hairs. Not going to have deodorant. Right? But let's read on. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, or instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. I mean, you're going to be all worn out with rent. A rent is worn out garments like sackcloth, torn up clothes. When all hell break loose, Eve, you're going to have holes all in your shirts. And you willfully put holes all in your jeans so everybody can see your body. Right? You're going to be a target out there with your rent on. Right? And it says, instead of well-set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Right? If you're getting perms, your scalp is on fire every time you get a perm. Your brain is on fire. Right? You don't have the traits that you used to have, man. Why? Because a lot of Eves are proud. Can't nobody tell you anything. You always got something to say. Right? You expect a man to do A, B, and C for you. A lot of Eves are proud, man. Like I said, you can't afford me. You got to buy me. I'm foreign. I'm a bad B. You know, you got to work for this. A lot of Eve think that they're God too. Oh, I'm God. Right? You got to worship this. Where is it at in the Bible? So let's read on. Let's see the effect. Isaiah 3 and 26, 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she shall be desolate. It's like it, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So 7 women going to take hold of one man. Now that number 7 just means completion or perfection. It doesn't literally have to be literally 7, but it can be 20, it can be 3, it can be 2, it can be any time. Where 7 women are going to take hold of one man. Let's get that that number 7 is spiritual. Let's go to Psalms chapter 12. Right? And in that day, it's talking about Jacob's trouble. Right? It's not talking about the kingdom. Because why would a woman need bread and apparel in the kingdom? Why would she have to say, we'll eat our own bread and wear our own apparel? Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. How are you going to have reproach in the kingdom of heaven with Yahweh Shai and the apostles and the Most High? So we know you got brothers saying, well, that's not talking about Jacob's trouble. It's talking about the kingdom. It's not talking about the kingdom. How are you going to have reproach and infamy and being damn cast down in the kingdom, huh? The Lord said when there's casting down, then there is lifting up. And the Lord maketh peace in his high places. In the book of Job, chapter 25. All right, but let's get this in Psalms chapter 12 to show that that number 7 just means completion. Right, this Psalms chapter 12 and verse 6. The words of the Lord are pure words, as silver, right? As silver tried in the furnace of earth, purified 7 times. See that? So you purify once is not enough. Purify twice is not enough. Then you purify it the 7th time, and now it's enough. Now it's completely perfected. That's what that number 7 represents. All right? Let's get another precept on the number 7. Let's go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 4. Right? Get another precept dealing with the number 7. Right? This Leviticus chapter 4 and verse, let's see, I want to start at 6. All right, this Leviticus chapter 4 and 6. It reads, and the priest shall dip his finger in the blood and sprinkle of the blood 7 times before the Lord, before the veil of the sanctuary. So the priests have to sprinkle the blood 7 times. If they did it 5 times, it wasn't enough. Now you might say, hold on, 5 times, that's a good amount. It's, that should be all right, right? No, 7 times. You may say, well, look, do it one more time, make it 6. No, 7 is completion or perfection. Let's go to Revelation chapter 4, right? About the 7 spirits. And you can read about the 7 horns and the 7 eyes, right? But let's go to Revelation. Not Revelations. Revelation chapter 4 and verse 5. Right? Revelation chapter 4 and 5. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices. And there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of the Most High. Does the Most High literally just have 7 spirits? No. Right? You don't have literally just 7 spirits. You have an innumerable. You can't count the spirits. That's why in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, says thousands of thousands ministered before him, and 10,000 stood before him, paraphrasing. Right? So you have 7, which just means completion or perfection. So get one more precept, one more witness on the number 7. Right? Salakia. Shalom. Let me hit you back. I'm doing this live. All right, shalom.
So,
right? So this is Revelation chapter 5 and verse. I want to start at. Bear with me. This is Revelation 5 and 5. Right? Revelation 5 and 5. And one of the elders saith unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. And I beheld, and lo, so you have 7 seals for this word, right? Here's the point. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb, which is who? Hamashiach wa Malak Yahushua. Stood a lamb as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of the Most High, sent forth into all the earth. So 7 horns, meaning complete strength and omnipotency of Yahushua. 7 eyes, meaning what? The dominion of the angels that have the ability to see everything that you're doing, right? So those are the 7 eyes and the 7 horns that Yahushua has, which are the 7 spirits, which are all of the demons and the angels sent forth from dwelling in the 3rd heaven to come on the earth to deal with man for good or bad, right? So let's go back to that in Isaiah. Now we know when it says 7 women, it's not literally just 7, it just means a complete amount, right? No, that's not talking about the 7 chakras, right? Right, but let's go back to this in Isaiah chapter 4. Isaiah chapter 4 and 1. And in that day, remember, keeping it in its proper context, it's speaking about Jacob's trouble, the end of the world. That day is the same day that we read about in Isaiah chapter 3 and 18, right? So Isaiah 4 and 1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man. So let's look up that word, take hold. All right, we're going to actually, like I said, we're kind of going into this thing, man. You want to break this down the right way, because you got people saying now that's talking about the Israelites cleaving to Yahushua, right? But let's break it down, man. Let's go to Isaiah. We're going to go into the Hebrew. Take hold meaning grab, right? It means to grab on them, right? But we're going to pull it up in the Hebrew. That's saying hazak, right? It says to strengthen, to be strong, become strong, be courageous, to be firm, grow firm, be sore, right? Here's the definition you want: to press, be urgent, right? To have, to hold of, to hold up, to sustain, to put forth your strength, to hold strongly with, to gird on, to squeeze. Amen. When it says they're going to 7 women going to take hold of one man, to squeeze or bind. It kind of, and you might be walking around in Jacob's trouble, you kind of at your wit's end, or you might have the faith of the Lord, and then you got a woman kind of see you. You turn around, you kind of look around, it's like, what the hell was that? You think somebody following you. So now you kind of paying more attention. So now you're walking around, and all you hear is, then you turn around again. What the hell is that? Right? And then you don't know, but you got to keep it moving because you got somewhere you got to go. You're a pilgrim on earth. Then you turn around again, you hear, and you turn around, and it's a woman right behind you screaming, please, please take me, kind of grabbing on your foot, you know, holding on to your leg, like the woman who was pressed to hold on to Yahushua's garment. Just she said that if I might touch the hem of his garment, I might be made whole. Those days are coming back on the earth. If I could just touch his garment and just be called by his name, I'll be made whole. All right, let's get that precept, man. These days are coming back on the earth. Right? Let's go to the book. We can go to Matthew, but I also want to get the other account. Right? Let's go to the book of Salakia. Let's go to Mark chapter 5 and 25. Right? Let's go to Mark chapter 5 and 25. Right? It reads, and the brother made a good point. Ban Yawasap House Manasseh said that prophecy in Isaiah 4:1 is going to be out of necessity. Those Eves in that day just want to be protected. They're going to eat their own bread and wear their own apparel. That's right. And that's literal, man. That's not they're going to eat spiritual bread. They're going to eat a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of understanding, and come into the truth and have a spiritual garment on. Stop thinking everything is spiritual. They're literally going to want to eat their own bread and wear their own apparel. Pretty much meaning what? Look, I'll take care of myself. You don't have to, because they're going to know that you're going to have a lot to deal with. They're going to look at you. They're going to see you all dirty, jammed up. They might ask where you're going. You might say, I'm looking for food. You might say, I'm about to go grab this water. And they're going to understand that there will be a burden to you. That them following you may hinder you. And they're willing to sacrifice the fact that a man is supposed to provide for them just to be with you. And they'll say, look, hey, I know that you're supposed to take care of me, but look, I want to be with you so bad to be protected. I'll take care of myself. I'll get my own food. I'll gather sticks. And she might gather sticks for the wildfire out there. You might start a fire. She out there gathering sticks. She out there hunting. She kind of in the corner doing her own thing, as long as she's called by your name. Right? So let's go to the book of Mark 5 and 25. And a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse. So she grew worse, right? When she had heard of Yahushua, came in the press behind and touched his garment, for she said, if I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. See that? She just wants to touch Yahushua's clothes. Women are going to see you with your fringes on, a beard on your face, and the spirit is going to let them know that you're a man of the Lord. These 7 women, they're not going to look for niggas. The LeBron James, the damn, I don't even know who's in the world. The rappers of the industry, they're going to be looking for the men of the Lord. You're going to be a target. Right? So again, that word in the Hebrew is what? To squeeze, about to gird with strength. So basically they squeezing you and they won't let you go. Right? And they're saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. How is a woman called by your name? By her being your wife. Meaning you lay down with that woman and now she becomes your wife. She takes on your name. That even happens in the world. When people get married, you may deal with a person, her name may be Jane Doe. Right? Or her name might be damn Keisha Jones. And your name might be Jamal Jackson. Right? But when Keisha and Jamal get married, she changed her name from Keisha Jones to Keisha Jackson. Because that whole spirit of her being your possession is even still out there to this day. So Eve is your possession. That's why she takes on your name. Like when you have a car in your name or a house in your name. Or you may have multiple cars, they're all in your name. What does it mean it's in your name? You own it. And nobody can take it away from you. And you might say, somebody might say, look, that's my car. You might pull out the title. Hey, look, it's in my name. Right? And it's in writing. You might buy a house. You might have a deed to the house. Somebody might try to break in your house. You might go on vacation. You might be in there and say, look, I was in here. I found it first. You pull out the paperwork. Hey, look, this house is in my name. So likewise with a woman. A woman is in your name. It is your possession. We read that in Sirach 36. And women kind of know that. That's what she said. Only let us be called by thy name. Right? Let's go to Genesis chapter 3. All right, let's go to Genesis chapter 3. These days are coming back on the earth in a big way. Right? Let's go to Genesis, the 3rd chapter, and verse 20. Let's read 20. Right? Genesis chapter 3 and 20. And Adam called his wife's name Eve because she was the mother of all living. Right? And how would Adam call his wife? Why would he give his wife a name if that wasn't his possession? You can't just name somebody's dog. Here you go to name their dog damn Fido, and you're going to say, no, I want your name to be Spot. No, that's his dog. Right? That's his possession. You can, if a man has a wife and names his wife whatever, you can't go and change his wife's name. That belongs to him. And he may get mad. He may say, look, don't call my wife that. Her name is so-and-so. That's why Adam called his wife's name Eve. Now, she had a name before that. Don't tell you what her name was, but it don't matter. If it mattered, it would have been mentioned. It don't matter. What matters is what Adam called her when she's married. So that's what matters to a woman. Your life when you're married under your husband. Not the life you had when you was a nigga woman in the streets, in the club, but when you're married to the Most High or you're married to your husband. And no, the Most High is not your husband. You got Eve, I don't need to be married. I'm married to God. God is not your husband. The Most High made man to be your husband. I'm so sick of hearing Eve, I'm married to God. I'm married to Jesus. Right? It's madness, man. Absolute mad. A lot of Eve is going to get humbled, man. Oh, I'm married to Yahweh Shai. I don't need no man. All right, well, you keep saying that. See how that work out for you, man. Right? So let's go back to then Isaiah chapter 4. Where I want to finish this. I didn't want this to be too long. Good precept from Yahweh Ben Ami. Let's get that in 1 Timothy 2 and 15. That's a mighty precept right there. Right? Let's get to that. Let's go to 1 Timothy. I'm going to actually read it because I want to get the verse above that. That's a good precept right there, man. This 1 Timothy 2. And actually, I'm going to start at verse 9. Right? Because you may have even this thing who may not know. Verse 9. 1 Timothy 2 and 9. And like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel. It didn't say the Judite woman or just the Ephraimite woman. No, it said woman in general, you Israelite women. Adorn yourself in modest apparel. What is modest apparel? You got Eve out now. Their cleavage got to be out. They ass is out. It's lucky for the language, but you know, that is what it is. They got bodysuits on. Their body is showing. Their chest is out. Eve is naked. That's why I hate the summertime. Eve, and you got like in Baltimore, and I've never seen it like that nowhere else. It'd be 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds walking around like they 35 with no clothes on. Madness. You got evil competitions who can show their body off the most. Getting injections just to put an outfit on to show your body. Damn, chest all showing. Body all showing. And it be Eve with their son. Son, 7 years old, walking with their mother holding hands, and their mother damn tricking, thotting, and looting with her damn body all up. Are women supposed to have and there's no such thing as modest pants. Right? Women are supposed to have dresses on. And I saw a woman with jeans on, rips in her jeans, and damn sits on. She got her skin showing, all of her jeans. She got zits on, talking about Kwame Yashala. So women are supposed to have dresses on. Right? Modest dresses on. You got women that come into the truth with a damn fitted dress on. Someone shalom, ak. No, a modest dressed on. Nobody should be able to see your figure. You know? Let's read on. In modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. So what is shamefacedness? Shamefacedness is when you become shy. Like I always say, you might have been an outgoing woman in the world. You might have been an extrovert. You might have been a person who was a party person, the life of the party. You might have been a sister who was popular in the world, who everybody knew. Wherever you went, people gave you hugs and, whatever the case may be. But now when you come into this truth, all that goes away. And you remember and recall that those are the things of the world. And being shame and not being shamefaced is why everybody dies. If Eve was shamefaced, she would never even have talked to the serpent. She would have said, hold on, I can't talk to you. Let me go get my husband. So that was her first downfall. It's not even the fact that she entertained the serpent. It was the fact that she wasn't shamefaced. And she refused to get Adam. And was moving in her pride and said, let me go get my husband. Right? So Eve, you got to be shamefaced, man. You got Eve in the truth. They be looking at other husbands, man. Oh, he know more precepts than my husband. He know a little bit more than the guy I'm courting to my husband. I'm gonna go after him. That's off, man. And evil. There's a precept in the book of Genesis, right? I had the audio Bible playing yesterday. I believe it's Genesis chapter 12 or 20. Salaki, this is the book of Genesis chapter 20 and 16, right? This Genesis chapter 20 and 16. And unto Sarah, this is what the king said, right? I'm going to start at 15. Now, when you read this account, I'm not going to read this whole chapter. All right? I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but it's a good chapter. But I'm going to read verse 16. I'm going to start at 15, Genesis 20 and 15. And Abimelech said, behold, my land is before thee. Dwell where it pleaseth thee. And unto Sarah he said, behold, I have given thy brother, meaning Abraham, I have given thy brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, he is to thee. Right? So Abraham is to you a covering of the eyes unto all that are with thee, and with all other. Thus she was reproved. So your husband is a covering of the eyes. So your whole focus should be on your husband. You shouldn't be looking at other men. Shouldn't be worried about what another man is doing. You got Eve, got damn 5 dudes in her phone, man. You got Eve in the truth. Oh, I'm courting this guy and that guy and that guy. I'm courting this guy from WFI, but he don't know I'm courting a guy from HOY. And he don't know I'm courting a guy from SOT. And I'm courting this guy from GMS. And I'm kind of courting this guy on the side from IUIC. And I'm courting this guy from Sakar. And she kind of playing the field. Where is it at in the Bible you can just play the field? That's off as hell, man. Right? You with this guy on Monday, proving him. Then you with this guy in this camp, learning his doctrine Tuesday. You should be shamefacing this thing. Right? It says with sobriety, meaning not drunk, not taking shots. You got something I saw called the shot challenge. Right? I saw it on damn Instagram, man. You scrolling and you following people and they mind not right. So you might see something you don't want to see. You got to kind of unfollow them. But they got something called the shot challenge, man. Is that being sobriety? Right? Is that what that is? I have to find it. But that's a new thing going on, man. Right? I can't find it right now. But I saw it. We had these Eves kind of taking a shot. Right? And they was and they call it a shot challenge. So they'll take a shot and then get drunk. Look at this. What is this? I wanted to find it. I may not be able to find it. It's madness. All right, that's madness. Look at this. Nigga, how you want it? Don't make me call a ghost. Somebody getting haunted. That's Jake and Eve, man. Right? That's off, man. That's the new thing, the shot challenge. right? You take a shot and you record it, and then five hours later, you record yourself after taking damn like 5 shots. Right? So that's the new thing going on around, man. That's not being sober. Right? Sobriety meaning spiritually sober and physically sober. It's not a sin to drink, right? But it is a sin to make damn liquor your idol. Right? Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 1. Right, let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 1 and verse 14. I'll start at 13. 1 Samuel chapter 1 and 13. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart. Only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. So let's see what Eli said to his wife when she thought that she was drunk. Did he say take another shot? Did he say, hey, get wasted? And Eli said unto her, how long wilt thou be drunken? Put away the wine from thee. So our people are drunk, man. Put away that spiritual wine from you and put away that physical wine. It's not a sin to drink wine, but he was mad if she was drunk, which she wasn't, but he kind of thought she was, how she was praying, right? But I want to finish this in 1 Timothy chapter 2. It says, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array, meaning a woman's outward appearance should be the least of her concern, right? Her spiritual appearance and her garment and her knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and her being shamefaced are more valuable than actual material gold and braided hair and looking good outwardly. You have people that look good outwardly, but inwardly they're demonic and evil as hell. That's why, again, Proverbs 31 and 30 says, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she should be praised. Sirach 25 and 21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. See that? So you can't just look at a woman's beauty and think that she's going to be a woman of the Lord. You got women, they may look, but they off, man. They'll commit adultery. They'll deal with your son. They'll deal with your best friend, your dad. You got Eve to make jokes about dealing with your father. Why are you talking to him? Look, I did so-and-so with your father. So a lot of Eve, they mind not right, man. But you're ignoring it because they look good. They don't fear the Lord. They can't read. They can't cook. They can't sew. They don't know how to wash clothes. But that's the woman for you. So a lot of you brothers, you said, that's on you too, man. Because your mind not right. You're not telling these women what's acceptable, man. You're enabling them to go off. You liking all the damn videos with weave and immodest apparel and folly, and Eve think that's what Jake liked. No, a righteous man, and we love a righteous woman that fears the Most High. And the Lord said a constant mind that can't be valued. You know? What the hell? Devesh Branch, I knew an Eve who took her dad's wife. Wow. Unbelievable. Right? It's believable, but it's unbelievable at the same time. That is madness. Eve took her dad's wife. I know what it's an Eve, or you got Eves, they'll deal with a man and then deal with the son. That's in the book of Ezekiel. When the Lord said, let me get that real quick. Well, you have a father and a son going to the same maid. Right? Bear with me. Right? Let me get this real quick. Right? This, I got to find this precept real quick. Salaki, I want to get this exact precept where they go into the same maid. Amos 2, Salakia, that's what I want, Salakia. All right, let's go to Amos chapter 2 and 7. So a lot of Eve, you're not right, man. Right? Amos 2 and 7. It reads, that pant after the dust of the earth on the head of the poor, and turn aside the way of the meek, and a man and his father will go in into the same maid to profane my holy name. That literally happens. You got women talking to the father, but then they kind of talking to the son as well. And that's off, man. We're not making that up. They've been doing that for thousands of years. Right? So women have to have shame face, and it's not a sin to look to take care of yourself outwardly. But before, when Eve get up, they got a vanity mirror, right? You got a vanity, which is vain. You got all your makeup. You worried about that. You putting your damn lips on, your damn eye thing going, but you never sit down and say, okay, let me put my spiritual garment on. Okay, look, let me make sure I reverence my husband. Okay, let me make sure I'm praying. All right, let me examine myself. Let me make sure that I'm treating my husband as the Lord. Let me make sure I got this prepared for the Sabbath. And that's your spiritual garment. And Eve, you take a long time to put your makeup on. You take about 30 minutes, 45 minutes to get ready. An hour. I give you an hour, 2 hours. Right? I give you 2 hours. Maybe an hour and a half to get ready outwardly. You should take a longer time to get ready inwardly. You got 5 minutes when you're getting ready spiritually, but 45 minutes, but an hour and a half to get ready outwardly. That's off, man. And that's a false balance. And now you move in, that's an abomination. Right? Let me get that in Proverbs 11:1. That's an abomination. Right? It reads, this Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. See that? So you want to have a just balance. This time that you spend getting ready inwardly as a woman, make sure you're examining yourself. You know how you're going to deal with your children. You're dealing with your husband. Make sure you got stuff prepared. And that time you should balance it out. Spending time getting ready outwardly as well. And if not, then it's an abomination. So you want to make sure that you're doing things decently and in order. All right, so let's read on. This 1 Timothy chapter 2, wow, and verse 10. But which becometh woman professing godliness with good works. Well, I'm going to jump down to 15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. So it says the woman shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. You see that? So that's plain. So, and a lot of women's husbands are going to die in war. Right? When they have to draft, right now they're even saying women have to sign up for the army. When they have the conscription, it's mandatory to join the army. Even saying women are going to do it. So a lot of men are going to die. Your damn boyfriend, your fiance, your husband, your friends with benefits, your so-and-so, they're all going to die. And the only men that are going to be left are the men of the Lord. Let's go to Isaiah 13. Right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 13. So you got Eve now, I don't need a man. I'm married to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. No, you're not. Stop playing yourself. That's ridiculous. I don't know what's going on, man. Our women was mad that they couldn't get married. Right? Read Sirach chapter 42. It was a shame if a woman wasn't married. And even more of a shame if she didn't have a child. Now you got even the truth. I don't have to be married. I got it. You may have a sincere brother. He might be at a congregation. He might sincerely, with good intentions, just, shalom's aqua. And she's not married. I don't need no man. Right? Don't talk to me. Talk to my husband first, the Most High. Well, her mind not right, man. Right? Now, I had a precept. I just paraphrased. I wanted to get something. But let me get this in Isaiah 13. Right? I'm going to go back to what I got through the Spirit. But I want to get this in Isaiah chapter 13 and verse. I'll start at, bear with me, Isaiah chapter 13. Salakia. I'm overlooking it. Bear with me 1 second. 12. Right? This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12. It reads, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. So the Lord's going to kill so many people finding a man on the earth is going to be like finding gold. That's why in Isaiah chapter 24, it says, therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned and few men left. Let me get that in Isaiah chapter 24. It's going to be few men left on the earth, man. So if you a man on the earth and you keeping the commandments, it's going to be like gold in that day, man. You know, that's why 7 women are going to cleave to you. Isaiah chapter 24 and verse, I'll start at 6. Isaiah 24 and 6. Therefore, hath the curse devoured the earth. That curse is the fire, the destruction coming from the chariots. All right. Therefore, hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Now, that few men is not telling you. The Lord is not going to give you an exact number. Now, Esau, we don't know how many people are on the earth right now, because, I mean, it's impossible to know. Because if you can't number the Israelites, how are you going to number the people of the earth? All right, so we don't know. But Esau says 8 billion, which we don't know. You know, nobody knows if that's accurate or not, because you can't number the sand of the sea. Right? But let's say, hypothetically, it's 8 billion people. And when the destruction kick off, the Lord said there's going to be few men left. So that can be anywhere between 1 billion people left on the earth. It can be 500 million. It could be 750 million. But a few men, you know, that's a great difference than 8 billion. And amongst those, let's say it's 1 billion people left on the earth. Let's just say after World War III, the ICBM missiles hitting the earth, powers of the heavens being shaken. Let's say it's 1 billion people on the earth, right? Well, how many of them are going to be in the truth during Jacob's trouble? How many of them are still going to fear the Most High? How many of them are still going to be diligent? Those are the men in Isaiah chapter 13 and 12 that are going to be like fine gold, you know, even more than a golden wedge of Ophir. All right, so let's go back to Isaiah chapter 4. I'm pressed for time. Actually, I want to go to 2nd Ezra 16. See if I get a few more, right? Then we'll wind down. All right, let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 16, right? 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and 33, right? 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands. See, the women are going to have bridegrooms or husbands. Their daughter shall mourn, having no helpers. Who's going to help them survive when they don't know how to hunt and get food? Who's going to help guide them back to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua? Who's going to help them start a fire, fight off a wild bear, some damn wild beast in the middle of the night, kill it? They're even scared of a spider, like I said. A damn spider land on them and all hell break loose. Jake, a spider land on you, if you're in your right mind, kind of just, the hell? You know, you kind of might step on it, kind of keep it moving. So who's going to help these Eves, man? Right? Like I say, Eve, you're not going to have weave, makeup, deodorant. When you're on your flower and your cycle and your period, you're not going to have a maxi pad, tampons, feminine products. You're not going to have toilet paper to wipe yourself and clean yourself. You're not going to have toothpaste, contacts, fake eyelashes, designer clothes, shoes that are comfortable, socks. Your damn underwear is going to be ran through. You're going to stink. And your makeup, you're not going to have makeup. And you're going to have patches. You're going to have your facial hair growing back because you can't maintain it in Jacob's trouble. Your chin hair is going to be there. That unibrow is going to grow back. Your eyebrow is going to be as thick as mine. And you're going to be caught out there. Yeah, you got them long nails. You're not going to be able to trim your nails like the brother said. Your feet going to be busted up. And you're not going to have nobody. That's why these 7 women are going to take hold of one man. And guess what? You're going to be caught out there. See, Jake, you can kind of go without. A lot of you Jakes, you know, your beard get roughy. You don't really maintain yourself like Eve really wants to maintain herself. Right? A lot of you Jakes, you don't sit there and take 2 hours to get ready. Putting on makeup and this. And you don't have a flower last time I checked. You don't have to do a lot to get yourself together. But Eve is going to be jammed up. Your damn Invisalign. What else Eve got? Your damn your injections. You got to get your weekly dose of your butt injections. Right? You're not going to get that. You know? Not going to be able to go to the gym. You're going to be real thin. Eve is going to be real thin. And they're going to stink. And, you know, they're going to be at their wits' end. Right? No pedicures, no manicures, hair appointments, no doctor's appointments. You're going to be bleeding, you know? And a lot of brothers are getting mad. Why are you talking about that? Eve, why are you going? Hey, that's how it's going to be. We don't sugarcoat nothing in WFI. We're not going to please you. Like we always say, we're not here to be your friend. We're not like the other guys, man. We don't worship Eve. We worship Yahweh Ba'ashmi Awashah. And we're going to call it like it is. Right? Let me go to Galatians chapter 4 and 16. Right? Let's go to Galatians chapter 4 and 16. So Eve, you definitely going to need a man. Right? 7 women are going to take hold of one man. Right? Galatians 4 and 16. Right? No Brazilian wax. No pedicures. No feminine wash. Right? This is Galatians 4 and 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? A lot of brothers say, oh, that's my enemy. Unsubscribe. I'm never watching them again. You told me I'm going to stink in Jacob's trouble. Hey, guess what? It is what it is. Now, if you got a man of the Lord, you have a better chance of surviving. You know? A lot of Eve, you run a man out the house. You know? Jake, the man, he don't want to deal with you no more because you got a loud mouth. Right? You pushing them all away, pushing the kids out the house. A lot of Eves are miserable. A lot of Eves I see is either, I never see them with a man. I see them, they baby, and her mother. It's a grandmother. They might be at Walmart. You might see a grandmother, the mother, and like a little son. And the son bad as hell. Hey, like I said, I just came back from Detroit last night. I got in this morning, and I kind of met my cousin. You know, now my cousin, she got a son. Now her son bad as hell, man. He hitting people, he punching people, and she don't have no man. She was saying, you know, I'm not gonna put all her stuff out there, but basically, look, she might be cleaving to 7 men in those days. I'll just put it like that. I'll sum it up that she's gonna be one of the women looking for a righteous man. Tomorrow I deal with this nigga, then I was dealing with this nigga. Like, hey, look, you can't do that. We have to kind of break the scriptures down to us. Hey, look, you can't do that. You know? So all that clubbing spirit, I'm a stripper. I saw Eve stripping at the train station on Instagram. She was in the corner of a train station, I think in New York. Damn stripping, man. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. And the wars, right, meaning World War III, and the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. See that? So the Lord said men are going to die in World War III. So the only men that are going to be left are what? The men of the Most High. Right? So let's go back to Isaiah chapter 4. Right? Isaiah chapter 4. And I'm going to read it again. Yep. See that? All right. So let's go back to Isaiah chapter 4 and 1. And in that day, when in Jacob's trouble, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread. All right, like I said, it don't have to be actual bread. They could be, look, they got to go hunt. A lot of Eves, you know, in the world, in the dietary, you don't even know the dietary law. What birds you can eat, what birds you can't eat. You're going to be caught up eating a duck. You might eat a bird and think it's clean. You didn't ate a damn falcon. You can't eat a falcon, right? You're not going to know what animals in the water to eat, how to look for the fins and what the scales are, and you're going to be caught out there. Even a clean insects, you're going to look at a beetle. See, the minute of the Lord, you're going to know, okay, look, I can eat this grasshopper or this locust. Okay, I can't eat that. Eve out there, they're not going to know what to eat. They're going to lift up a rock like the Lion King and eat some damn grub and die. So the men of the Lord, they're going to know the laws, the commandments. They're going to be in the spirit. That's why in Job chapter 5, it says, thou shalt be in peace with the beasts of the field, and the stones of the field shall be at peace with thee. Meaning everything's going to go swell for you, man. Right? So they're going to eat their own bread and wear their own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And they're going to have a reproach. What is that reproach? The Most High judging them. Them being jammed up in Jacob's trouble. That's the reproach. That reproach isn't really from man, but it's from their creator, Yahweh Yahweh Shah, who has made them be destitute and at their wits' end in those days. You see that? So 7 women are going to take hold of one man. And if you are Eve and you proud, you better humble the hell down. If you are Eve, oh, I don't need a man. You're going to need a man in those days. Right? If you are Eve, I got it. You say, I got it. You watching the video scoffing. You got Eve watching the video scoffing. Man, I'm married to the Most High. All right, we'll see in those days. We'll see in those days. 7 women are going to take hold of one man. And you men, that don't mean you have to take these women. Let me put that out there. You're not obligated to take these women. You kind of say, get off of me and kind of keep it going. Or you can kind of take them in because these women may be a burden to you. Because now you got to feed. Now you may have to, she says she's going to feed herself, but now you might feel bad. Now you might have to offer up some of your food. You take them away from your son. Now you got to kind of give it to her. So you don't have to take these women, but a lot of men are going to take these women. Right? And you might see a man in Jacob's trouble with 5 women just following him. You know? Or you might be a man who said, look, I'm going to just focus on the Most High. Right? It's all through the spirit. But with that, I'm going to close up, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Shema Mashiach, Malak Yahushai. Most High willing you was edified. Kwam Yashala. Shalom.